Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Andrew and I'm your Stuttering Tech. I don't know, it's been a while since I've uploaded any kind of content, about a month I think, and it's been kind of hard, especially since I've now transitioned over to a new position at my job, and things have just been so busy. I'm gone for more than 12 hours a day. Then I have to get the kids, and it's a lot going on right now. So, and it's pretty hard to create content when I'm a one man production, from shooting to editing. It's all done by myself, and so everything is kind of hard to be consistent as I would like to be right now. But today I'm reviewing the Pixel 6 Pro, and it took a while for this phone to get here, being that they had to order it. And I've got this phone from a service from AT&T called FirstNet. It's a new service for first responders, whether you're a hospital employee like myself or EMT firefighters and police officers. And it's at a very affordable price, a very competitive price. And so far, it's been amazing. You get 5G and all this and everything you would get with the regular AT&T plan. And if you are already a part of AT&T and you're a first responder, you can transition your plan over to a FirstNet plan, which a couple of my coworkers have done, and they said they're actually saving a lot on their bill, and they're getting the same thing that they had with the regular AT&T plan. Just want to put it out there. I'm not sponsored by AT&T or FirstNet. I just want to put this information out there. Now let's get into the video. YouTubers. Alright guys, so this is the Pixel 6 Pro, and as I mentioned, I've had this for a roughly 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And in the short time I've had this, yeah, it's been pretty, I would say, a mixed bag. I think I'm gonna do a separate video on all of the issues that I've had with this phone so far. But for now, I'm just going to run down the specs really quick. Some of the specs, not all of it, the most important part. Now, of course, this is a 6.7-inch Quad HD OLED display with 512 ppi and 120 Hz refresh rate. This Corning Gorilla Glass on the front and the back. And we also have our punch hole camera at 11.1 megapixel on the front, and it has stereo speakers. The earpiece doubles as a speaker, and also we have the bottom firing speaker as well. On the back, we have a triple camera setup. We have a 50 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide, and 48 megapixel telephoto at a 4x optical zoom, and we have our dual tone LED flash. It can shoot videos in 4K at 30 and 60 frames, and for the front, I think it's locked to 30 frames as well at 4K. As for the battery, it's 5,003 milliamp hour, which Google claims it can charge in 30 minutes, 50% in 30 minutes via their USB C 30-watt PD charger, which they didn't include in the box. They went the Apple route, and you have to purchase it separately. You can find them on Amazon for a roughly affordable price, maybe 18 to 25 bucks. And I have one that I bought a year ago, and it works pretty well with this phone. It charges it pretty quick. I never actually did the timing, but it did do it faster than when I use my OnePlus charger, being that that's not a PD charger. As for it also has wireless charging and battery share, which allows you to basically turn this phone into a wireless charging pad to charge other wireless devices, such as earbuds and I guess another phone. There's also on the display fingerprint scanner, and that's about it for the specs. Not really. we have 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, and it comes, you can get this phone in 128, 256, or 512 gigs of storage. And Google went with their own processor called the Google Tensor in this device. Now you can get this in 3 different colors. What I have here is the Stormy Black, I believe it's called, and there's also Cloudy White and Satora Sunny. But I went with the black version, which comes out more like a gray. At least on the back, it's more of a two-tone gray to me. But other than that, but it doesn't really matter what color you get. You're gonna slap a case on this phone, which I suggest you do. Now I'm gonna go over certain things that I really don't like. There's no headphone jack, of course. Again, Google went the Apple route and remove it. Well, most of the phones are doing that anyway. These days, most devices are removing headphone jack, especially since, let's be honest, a lot of us are using Bluetooth earbuds anyway. So, yeah. Now, let's take a look at this display. Now, this display is very, very smooth. This 120 hertz is just so smooth, especially when scrolling through web pages at all. And it's the beautiful display here. It's really good.
Entering cargo bay 1 now. The fuel cell's still generating minimum power. Your heart rate's elevated. Hey, don't spy on my vitals. Just keep an eye on our damaged engine and those asteroids. Do you think he's still alive? It's been 20 years.
Well, Samsung does have the best display, but I think this is pretty on par with that. It's really, really good. A really, really nice, very, very beautiful display, especially when watching content. And as far as the speakers, as you can hear, that sounds really, really, really good. I'm gonna pull up something on Spotify here on copyright music, on copyright-free music on Spotify. It sounds really, really good. You do get some low end. It sounds much more full than other Android devices that I've ever had. It's not the loudest, but it is better sounding by far than other Android devices that I've had the pleasure of owning and playing around with. Now, as far as gaming on this, I played only a couple of games. I play Golf Rival, and I've been playing Word Trip, and that's really about it for the games that I've really. Oh yeah, and Genshin Impact, which looks very, very good on this display and plays very well. the cameras in here has been very, very, very good. I like the picture quality that comes out of this thing. I like how it is, and I'll put some up on screen right now to let you be the judge on how good this thing takes pictures and how the videos come out, and you be the judge of these samples that I'm going to give you. Now, those pictures you just seen, in my opinion, they are very, very good. Especially the ones in low light, to me, comes out very, very good. Some of them are even true to what the scene actually were. I actually like them very, very much. I love taking pictures with this device. With the cameras in this device, I think they're really, really good. Now we're going to go into a couple of issues that I've been having with this device. Now, when you use the camera, it gets the phone the phone gets hot pretty quickly. As I just opened this camera, I didn't even record a video, the phone started to get warm, and it can get very warm very quickly. Especially even if you're not recording anything, just having the camera app open, I know this makes this device very, very warm as well. Don't mind my banking information there. I forgot that I set the shortcut button. Now this phone does have a shortcut button. A shortcut by tapping the back 2 times. It's supposed to bring up whatever you said there. Like I have my app right here. I have my banking app, so I can quickly just go get into that. But yes, so I have my issue is with the camera. That using it makes the phone hot pretty quick, and you will start noticing your battery draining very, very fast when you have your camera app open. And this phone does heat up very quickly, especially when you're playing games as well. It seems to get hot very quick and very warm as well. The other display is the OLED display in this. I think they should have gone with a Samsung AMOLED, because I never noticed this on a Samsung device, even with the curved screen, that when light hit it, the edge where it curves, it starts to reflect that light into your eyes, and make it hard to see certain parts of the display. I don't know how well that's coming off on camera, but right now the light is hitting the side and it's kind of bouncing back into my eye, and the areas along the edge here just looks pretty reflective, especially if you're watching content. It seems to bother depending, and it's not all the time. It's like depending, like I'm on the bus and I'm watching something on YouTube and the lights are hitting the edge and it just gets back into my eye. For some reason, the curve reflects light, and I never noticed that when I had my Galaxy, when I used the Galaxy, my Galaxy phones, or even my girl's Galaxy S9 that she still has up to this day. I've never noticed that happening with the curved edges of the display. Another issue that I have is that from time to time, especially when playing games, the three games that I have, it will start to freeze. Especially when the phone gets hot, it will start freezing. Sometimes I leave it, let it cool down, and then I'm able to play. But once it starts heating up, things start to start freezing in apps. Sometimes I'm just playing the word trip and I can't do anything. I have to wait, and then it's forced closing the app. The app starts crashing, and it wouldn't work well until I let the phone sit for about 5 minutes to cool down. Then the apps will start running pretty okay. But like I said, that's issues that I've been having with this device in the 3 weeks that I've had it. Another thing I noticed, wirelessly charging this thing, and I have a 10-watt wireless charger. This phone gets supremely hot wirelessly charging. It gets hot, and again, that's another issue. I don't know why it's getting hot from charging via the wireless charger, but it does heat up while it's charging wirelessly, that I've noticed. Now, my other issue is with the camera. Now, this phone has, as it says, optical, yes, 4 times optical zoom. Now, the optical zoom is supposed to kick in when you reach that 4 times zoom. Before, in between that, is digital, and past that, you're doing digital. So, this is not a scientific or a good way to test this out, but if right now it's on the main camera. So if I put my finger over the main camera, you could see it's blacking that. If I go to the wide, you will see the wide works, and you see my finger a little bit back to the main camera. 2 times zoom, which is digital, we see my finger. Now I go to 4 times and you still see my finger, because it's still using the main camera. It didn't switch over to the telephoto like it's supposed to. Now I'm going to drag my finger. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but I'm going to drag my finger up to 5 times, still using that main camera. And not until I reach, 7 times zoom, that's when it's actually switches over to the telephoto. And by then it's using the telephoto, but it's also it's now using digital zoom, so it adds on. So basically you're at 3 times digital zoom on top of the 4. Now if I slide back down to 4, it automatically switches back to that main camera. I can even go, because I can even go all the way up to 6 and nothing, still on that main camera, and it just stays there until I reach 7 times, 8 times. Now I can go back to 6, I can go back to 5, and it should stay on that on the telephoto, but then it will automatically switch right back to the main camera. So, because I was wondering, why does the telephoto at 48 megapixel comes out so grainy when looking through the display? It comes out so grainy compared to the main camera at 50 megapixel. You don't really see anything there, but once you go to that telephoto, which is supposed to be telephoto, it's grainy compared to the main camera, which, it should not be this bad. But then I realized, even at 4 times, it's still on that digital zoom when it's supposed to automatically switch over to that telephoto lens, but it's not doing that. It's just staying on that optical. It's just staying on that wide, on that main shooter until you go up to that to about seven times on the 7 times digital zoom. So for some reason it's only doing digital zoom and not optical at all. It's not doing any optical zooming whatsoever. And even at 4 times you can tell that it's digital. You can tell that it's digital. So I don't know if this is a bug, if they can fix this with an update, but it's not actually doing the telephoto zoom at 4 times, which to me should be much more clearer than what you're getting with digital zoom, but it's not. So there's clearly an issue with that. I don't know if that's all the pixels that's out there right now or out there in the wild, or it's just with my specific device. So I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully there might be an update. Maybe if there's more people having that same issue, Google will come up with some way to fix that, some kind of a software update to fix that issue. But it doesn't seem that this phone is making use of the optical zoom at 4 times like it's supposed to. It's just using digital, cropping in with digital, and then when you go past a certain amount, then it switches over to that optical, but then adding on digital zoom, and it doesn't look good at all. And it also does that when you're in video as well. So I'm going to go ahead and cover that main sensor as well, and then I'm going to go ahead and do 2 times, which is digital, 4 times, and see it as even in video, it's doing that as well. Excuse me. And then as I go up to about 7 times, then it's even worse on video. 7 times, it's still not switching over to the optical. And as I go, no, sorry about that. I went to time lapse. Okay, normal video, and I'm on 7 times. I'm on 16 times, and it's not switching over. It switched to the ultra wide, but it would not switch to that telephoto lens until now. It's still on the main. It would not switch over to that telephoto lens in the video option at all. So that is a problem right there that I noticed, because I was trying to do a video using this as my main camera just to let you guys see how everything works. But no, I'm not getting it's in video. You cannot access that telephoto lens whatsoever for some reason. Now for the front camera, I'll go here, and I'm using the front camera, and let me go ahead and record. Let's do a video. So right now on the front camera, and this is how it's looking when I'm using the front camera for video right now, as I'm on it with good lighting on. So right now I'm going to turn off one of the lights. I'm going to turn off the light so you can see how it looks in low light. So right now I have kind of low light, the green light on right now. So those are the only lights, and you can see there's a lot of noise, but it's pretty okay. But I wouldn't use this if I'm trying to do, like, say, using this for YouTube or any kind of or a podcast or anything, because they say the best camera is the one that you already have. But yeah, for low light stuff, or even at all, I wouldn't use this. I would use the back camera, which I will use in a upcoming video. I will do a review video just using this the back camera on this. Now, despite all the issues that I've been having with this phone, like right now it's pretty warm, just that I had the camera open recording that video. Yes, it's been a pretty really good experience with this phone, and it's not something that I would think it's dependent on how you use your phone. I'm not constantly on my phone anyway, maybe playing games, but it doesn't really heat up on a lot of the games. But when it's something heavy, it will start getting very hot, really hot to the touch. Well, luckily I have a case on my phone. Now, the final issue I have with this phone, before I get into that, is the placement of the power button, and I think a lot of people have the same issue, is with the placement of the power button. Now, they went and put the power button above the volume rocker, unlike any other device that I've ever seen or ever handled, and your thumb naturally lands where the power button is. So sometimes I'm trying to increase the volume of my music, and I always go ahead and I'm turning the phone on or off, which activates the emergency mode, which tries to call 911 and send out your locations to your family members or whatever, and let them know that you are calling emergency services. So that's taking some getting used to. I have to put my finger down lower to access the volume rocker, and there's no way to distinct the difference. They both feel the same. Now you can get a case that can do that, like the one I have here. The one I have here that I use on the daily, and this one has some ridges on the power button, so you can differentiate. I can't say that word. Tell the difference between the power button and the volume rocker, so you can basically feel the difference and don't have to pull it all the way out of your pocket just to be able to increase or decrease your volume. But yes, overall, I said this is a pretty good phone. I'm having fun with this. Yeah, go ahead and check out, if you're a first responder, check out FirstNet. Again, I'm not sponsored by them or I'm not getting paid by them. I just think it's a really good deal for people who work in the healthcare services or EMTs, firefighters, and so forth. Yeah, but yeah, that's it for this video. Andrew, I'm your Stuttering Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.